Hello, hello. I am back to help you do this thing called life. So, we are going to keep praising for each other and we're going to keep watching the walls fall down, okay? Well, today something happened. I was in the kitchen doing some tea. I had some tea boiling on the stove and I stepped out for just a minute. Well, it wasn't boiling yet, I had it on the stove. And I'd stepped out for just a minute into the other room. And when I thought I heard it, starting to boil, I went in the kitchen and lifted the top just a little um, so that it would, continue to boil without boiling over. And I had been in the kitchen probably 10 or 15 minutes. And my sister came in and she said, "Oh, I smell gas real loud." I said, "Well, yeah, the I got it on. I got the stove on with the tea boiling." She said, "Oh, okay. I didn't know the stove was on." I said, "Yeah." So she went on out, and after a while, maybe 2, 3 more minutes, I happened to look, and there was no fire. We have a gas stove. There was no fire under the pot, but it was still on high, and so I had to turn it off and turn it back on. And it wasn't right then. So I yelled back there and told her, "You were right. The gas was on. It was going, but the fire was out." I said, "I didn't realize that the water had boiled over. It didn't look like it had boiled over a lot when I got in here. I didn't realize that it put the fire out." And it was still a while. So, like I said, I lit it again. And it was maybe 3, 4 minutes later, I started getting a headache. And had to go outside and get some fresh air. Had to open the pull up the screen, pull up the glass on the window, on the screen door, excuse me. And I started thinking about that thing. And I said, that's a lot like life. Sometimes something comes along and it boils over in such a way. Situations in our lives, circumstances in our lives that just kind of boil over on us. And without us even knowing it, it puts out our fire. And it sometimes takes someone that we know coming along saying, "Hey, something's not right here. something isn't quite right. Something's out of whack. I smell something." And it may take, like it took me, because I looked at it and was like, "No, it's on." Looking right at it and didn't realize it. But she was right. And sometimes that's what happens in our lives. We don't realize something has put out our fire. We don't realize that something has affected us in such a way. And it takes somebody that we trust coming along saying, "Something ain't right. Something don't smell right." And even if you don't get it right then, you got to remember. Now, because you can't listen to everybody, okay? You cannot listen to everybody because some people just gonna have something to say. But when it's a trusted source, you need to take a minute and carefully evaluate the situation to see if there's any truth to what they're saying. Because just like I said, it took me a while before I realized I really was affected. And honestly, y'all, you listening to the people who love you and who can step into the situation, sometimes we're too close to tell. But sometimes someone can step into the situation and tell you what's going on, and your listening to them could mean the difference between life and death. So I thank the Lord that I looked again. There's no telling how sick I would have gotten because honestly, Once, it took a long time for that scent to get out of the house. It was in different rooms of the house. Oh, when I just said that, that even took it somewhere else. How many rooms in your mind, how many relationships, how many things have been affected by that one thing? How much gas has leaked into other areas? How much toxic stuff has invaded other areas of your life from just this one incident, this one thing? Think about it. Let's do some evaluating. So I thank God for the people in my life who can step in and sense that something's wrong. I want to thank you. And I ask you, keep talking to me. Keep talking to me. That was a natural thing. But spiritually, my sisters and brothers, tell me, talk to me. Don't let me go down crazy roads. Lord knows I want to be right. like my pastor said, I don't want to just do right. I want to be right. And sometimes we have let a thing creep in and it's doing us damage without us even knowing. That was something that could be smelled, but sometimes it's a carbon monoxide leak. Sometimes it's something that you never would smell. Sometimes it's something that doesn't smell stink, but you gotta know when you're being affected. And if you don't know, trust the one that does, okay? Whew. Well, this has been One Moment with Marcy. I will be back tomorrow with another moment of momentum producing motivation. Until then, stay encouraged. And remember, you gotta flutter before you can fly. But flying is in your future. I love y'all.